Good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I'm so excited because I get to talk about, well, the new wave, the fresh new sound that's dominating the streaming services. The music press has been gripped by a story of fakery over recent weeks, which began when a band called the Velvet Underpants blew up on Spotify. So today I'm asking, what does any of it mean, if anything at all? Yeah, I'll do the theme tune and we'll talk about the Velvet Underpants. Justin Hawkins rides again. It'd be really cool if there was a way of kind of fretting across there so I could raise, you know, like a capo or something. But ideally a capo with some headphones attached to it. I don't know. They'll probably never come up with something as innovative as that, but... You heard it here first, guys. Okay, in June, the Velvet Sundown music band, herein referred to as the Velvet Underpants, released 2 albums on Spotify, Floating on Echoes, sounds generic, and Dust and Silence. I wish. They described how their sound mixes textures of 70s alt rock and folk rock, yet blends effortlessly with modern alt pop and indie structures. That's probably what they typed into ChatGPT, isn't it? And in the space of a few weeks, their monthly listeners grew to over 1 million for tracks such as Dust on the Wind, as opposed to Dust in the Wind. Okay, let's have a little look at that. I think I did listen to this one, actually, just out of curiosity, and also because I was just really tired of having feelings, so I thought I'd have a listen to the Velvet Underpants. There is a house in New Orleans they call Horizon Sun. Right? I feel so moved by this music. Dust on the wind. Oh, I got the right note. Dust on the wind. Boots on the ground. Fair enough. Smoke in the sky, no peace found. Rivers run red, the drums roll slow. Tell me, brother, where do we go? I have to say that sounds pretty fucking good. Well, the guitar at the beginning, I think Beato was doing a little bit of analysis when he was taking apart the track and listening to the individual sort of elements of it and finding a lot of what he described as artifacts. I think because this filthy, the things that they've trained these AI thinking computers with are usually sort of very highly compressed files, and it's difficult to separate them. But yeah, just there's something in it that's so generic and so kind of like, there's something sacred about country rock for me, like that sort of the 70s kind of West Coast sound. The idea that computers are coming to take that from us now is just really out of order. I don't mind if AI is being used to make techno, because who gives a fuck about techno? It has no harmonic value to me. You know, there's nothing interesting in it whatsoever. But there is interesting stuff in that period of music from the sort of, I don't know, around about 1970 to 1979. I think is probably my favourite era. It's definitely my favourite decade. And these people, or these computers, are plundering that. I think it's nice to do stuff that's influenced by it, but it doesn't sound real. Anyway, there were other clues that the band was fake in the promo images that sprawled their way across the interweb. The official photo from Spotify showing, according to the bio, vocalist and mellotron sorcerer Gabe Farrow. He's not a real wizard, by the way. Guitarist Lenny West, bassist synth alchemist Milo Raines, and free-spirited percussionist Orion Rio Del Mar. I don't know why they felt obliged to talk about how free-spirited he is. Presumably he sleeps on a beanbag or something. I don't know. Looking at the drummer at the back there, it doesn't matter how free-spirited you are or how many times you hold a stick in the air, your hand is never going to look like that. It's almost as though the fingers are going back on the hand. There's just always something that's not quite right about an AI-generated image, and sometimes it makes me laugh and sometimes it makes me weep. This is the really good stuff coming up. So here's a lovely picture of them playing a music concert not too long ago. I think the guitar player has freshly washed his hair. He's voicing what looks to be a G-sharp major. He's only playing like he's using his thumb on like the fourth string along, which is very unusual. It's also seems to be what the bass player is doing, although you could argue that his first finger is drifting somewhere around the third fret, which implies a G. So if one of them's playing a G sharp and the other one's playing a G, that's going to sound fucking appalling. The drummer is looking off into a different direction to the other lot and holding his sticks like this. When's it my turn to play? But he's free-spirited, so whenever you feel like playing it, I guess. Oh, another nice gig photo. The guitar player's got a very mean-looking kind of someone's just shatting John Bon Jovi's sandwich type expression, and his middle finger is so wide and so overdeveloped. It's almost as though he's one of those bears that has to sort of fish grubs out of holes in trees. This is my favourite of the lot. Oh, God, this is awesome. This is them in the studio. Angry John Bon Jovi is now no longer angry, but he's looking down, gently sort of caressing what looks to be one of them newfangled stringless guitars. The guitar player is, he's smiling into the microphone, which is one of my favourite sounds. Listen. ASMR. It's got a capo on one, but if you look carefully at the capo, it's ingenious because it connects to his headphones, so he can directly hear what the guitar's doing. Also, look at the way that's strung. If you look at the thickest of the strings, the top one, as you're looking at it, it goes right along there. Instead of hitting the first tuning peg, which is how I normally do things, or even the second tuning peg, it goes all the way to the third tuning peg, which is normally reserved for the D string. Now, I don't know why they've jumbled up those strings. I can only imagine that they think we're not going to notice. It's really cool. And also, for those of you who are thinking of designing a studio, best place to put the speakers is behind your head. Always, just because of the way ears are made. Their ears go backwards, so they have the speakers behind them. So I love this one because it shows that they're role models as well as rock stars, because safety first. I think the guitar player man has become more intense again, and looks a bit older than in some of the other shots. I mean, this is presumably, this is the best off from their entire career, and they've stayed the same size throughout, which is really cool because they can still wear the same outfit. Eating hamburgers. No plate provided for the drummer, because it's fair enough. Drummers are mostly animals anyway, aren't they? They'll eat off anything. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose what I'm saying is when you have those pictures, to accompany the music, it's very, very difficult to find anything in the music that's sort of emotionally resonant, because you kind of like always seeing those images in your brain. And it's quite obvious that none of those things are real. Anyway, just days ago, the Velvet Underpants Down took to X to warn that fraudsters were hijacking both their story and their accounts. And they said that there is an active attempt to misrepresent our work and take ownership of something they did not create. Ironic much. Do not trust any content about the Velvet Underpants unless it comes from our official channels. And then they listed the official channels. And a rewritten bio on Spotify admitted what everybody kind of suspected and actually knew. The Velvet Underpants is a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction and composed, voiced, and visualized with the support of artificial intelligence. This isn't a trick, it's a mirror. I think most tricks are kind of done with mirrors, actually. An ongoing artistic provocation designed to challenge the boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself in the age of AI, also known as the age of fucking shite. Not quite human, not quite machine. The Velvet Underpants live somewhere in between. And so, where is that in between, and what does it say about the music industry and the future of music? I mean, I have my suspicion that this is going to create some sort of backlash, and when you've got bands like the Lemon Twigs, who are fucking amazing and actually sometimes leaning into that sort of West Coast songwritery, jangly stuff. That's how it's properly done, This is the sort of laptop version of it, I suppose. I can imagine that in years to come, so this is a word of caution, actually, to songwriters around the world. I think if you're using anything like ChatGPT or any of the other sort of AI programs to create music, trust me when I say this, there will be some legislation in the future where the collection societies will audit an artist and sort of have a look at what they've used and how they've created their channels, or each, like music channels, I mean, how they've created their tracks, with a view to looking for AI influence, so that they can avoid paying out on it. And I think that's fair enough. So if you are a songwriter, don't use fucking AI. Use your mind, use your heart, do what, you know, the real people do, actual people, and don't get sucked into this because it's just a quick fix. There's nothing satisfying about listening to it, especially after seeing those pictures. It just leaves you cold. So in summary, the Velvet Underpants for me, despite the fact that the voice actually sounds really nice, it leaves you cold because of this furore around it. You know, it's just robots. So if you are tired of having feelings, and sometimes I get tired of having feelings, then listen to the Velvet Underpants and you'll feel absolutely nothing. Justin Hawkins rides again. As opposed to the disappointment that you feel every time I play this and I haven't tuned my guitar. Again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Watch one of these 2 videos. Try and resist the temptation to use AI to write songs. It's not a shortcut in the long run. It's a false economy, if you like. Justin Hawkins Rides Again is going live next year. There's all that stuff's happening. There's exciting things that are happening in real life. So ignore the Velvet Underpants. It doesn't matter about them. The music is of no consequence whatsoever. Lovely voice though. Shame it's wasted on that. Fucking shite. All right, see you cats on the ice. Nice one. Again.